So Matt Zovistoski's been in our program for 5 years, and he's been a strong point in our lineup. Even as a true freshman, he was able to kind of step in for us right away, and was you know very consistent performer for us. And so this is a match that he obviously wants to finish his career on a high note, and I think that in this match he was going for his 100th career win, if I'm not mistaken. Gets to the leg right away, which is probably a good way to start the match, just like I spoke about in Milner's match. Getting that first takedown, securing it right away, just kind of sets the tone, the momentum for the match. And I think that was a great way to come out of the first whistle on the attack. This is probably Matt's most improved position, I would say, over the course of the last couple of years is on top. He really did a good job, not only in this match, but in a lot of matches this year of really, putting a strong ride on his opponent and, getting the breakdown and being able to, maybe get a score late in the period and finish the period on top, which I think was, a big deal to, a lot of the matches where he wrestled quality opponents. Again, he's right back on the attack as soon as he gets to his feet. And you'll notice right here, you can see, how he's controlling the center of the mat. His butt's to the center and his opponent's to the out of bounds the entire time. And, that's what we want to be doing. We want to control the center of the mat and, stay on the offense the entire time.
John Mark, I remember the Lock Haven match where he just, repeatedly boom, 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 a lot of takedowns in a row, especially in that first period, that's 3 minutes. Is his motor.
It was a nice high crotch there and changed it off to his double. He's got a really deceptive left-handed high crotch, and that's one of the attacks that, takedown he just got there, that lefty high C. It's very deceptive. And I think that's why he gets in so deep on a lot of opponents. But, to answer your question, Brett, I think when Matt gets his motor going, that's when he's his best, when he's just, getting in that mode where he's just scoring. That's when he's at his very best. And we've seen that a lot of matches in his career, in that Lock Haven match you're referring to. I do remember that match. I think he got 7 or 8 takedowns. A lot of them were just within 10 seconds of each other. See, once again, he's out here really coming out to the side, working hard to try to, get a handle and turn his opponent over. Doing a good job keeping him broken down there. You see it's getting late in the first period, so it's going to be really important that he finishes his period on top and doesn't give his opponent an escape. He's doing a great job here of keeping him flat, keeping his hips pinned to the mat, and, just finishing this period on top. Another position that Zovistoski really obviously grew at a lot was bottom. His early on in his career, this was a position that he was very vulnerable in. He'd be winning matches 4-1, kind of like this match right here, and we might not put him down just because he struggled to get away a lot of times, and obviously he does a good job there, separating his hips and then being aware there to secure that too. And I'm not sure if he got an escape and a takedown there. It looks like he just got a reversal.
So when you mentioned early in the career that you may have, strategically chosen different for the start of the second period in a situation like that, just can you go over a little bit the thinking of, what you want in a second period compared to a third period if you're starting down? Or
Well, with Matt early on in his career, the position he was the most vulnerable in was on bottom. And so there were a lot of matches we found out early on that he would be winning or very competitive with opponents. And, if he ended up going down, he would struggle to get away or possibly get turned and let his opponent get back in the match. And so, early on we figured out that, if he's winning and he's, controlling the match, we don't want to put him in that bottom position if at all possible. But we put a lot of time and work into that the last 2 years, both his redshirt year and his redshirt junior year, of really getting better on bottom. And so, by this year, in his 5th year, we were a lot more confident putting him underneath. We felt confident he could get away from most anybody. Whereas in years past, we were a little concerned about that, and we might not put him on bottom if if it didn't, if it was a tight match and we had to get an escape, yeah, maybe we'd put him underneath. But if he was dominating the guy, we just wouldn't really put him on bottom to slow the match down. So, and you can see he's riding his opponent. And so physically, I think it's taken a lot out of his opponent right here, but you can tell mentally too. You can see his shoulders slumping, he's kind of hanging his head, walking back to the center. That played a big mental, mentally it wore on his opponent by just being able to stay on top here and do a good job riding. Doing a good job there of returning his opponent. The guy gets to his feet, making sure he does the work to return him to the mat. As you can see here, he finishes the second period on top as well. Very similar to the first period. He got a takedown with maybe 20 seconds left, finished the period on top, gets a takedown the second period, finishes the period on top, and then now it forces his opponent to choose on his feet, which he's already been taken down several times, but it forces him to really second guess going underneath Matt, just because Matt did a great job of keeping him down, and those points really made a difference. And he gets an easy go behind there, just out of frustration. His opponent takes a bad shot, and he gets an easy go behind here. And we were asking him to cut him here because we were trying to maximize the team score at this point. Looking for bonus points, and he did a good job of cutting him loose and trying to get a major here. He's got to clear his head, clear that leg off his head to secure the 2 points right now. And the thought behind going ahead and having him cut him right here is he hadn't turned him yet, but was starting to really, you felt like, put it on him, and so we cut him thinking we could get another takedown and hopefully kind of, I don't know, maybe get an opportunity to take him from his feet to his back. End up getting taken down here, but was not that disappointed because we liked how aggressive he was being and trying to continue scoring points. So.
What's it like going through that aggressive mindset with the guys where you could probably win's in pretty good shape, but to risk those takedowns, but just that aggressive mindset you want to keep where there's some risk reward involved in that?
Well, I mean, I think at that point, we weren't really concerned about winning the match, but I think the team race at this point, we still had 4 more finalists to wrestle, and we met Campbell in a couple of those matches, and so the team race was still in question at this point. So obviously we knew we had to maximize our points in every finalist we had to be able to come away with the team title. So, if Matt could win by 8 or more points and end up with a major decision, then obviously that helps the team, more than him winning by 7 points and, having a very, easy, convincing or a very convincing minor decision. So. Now, obviously, this was kind of, one of those things where, the Campbell wrestler didn't really, challenge him as far as the outcome of the match. But, obviously getting that takedown and finishing that period on top kept Matt to a minor decision, which was probably, a big move for them in the team race, But hats off to Zovistoski. I mean, finishes just a phenomenal career, gets his 100th win, going for his second Southern Conference championship, and what a way to do it, especially with the way the season ended. His last career match, getting his 100th win at home at Appalachian State was pretty special.